name is Adrienne. Feel free to call me Andy. I'm one of the fitness and sports instructors at CFB Edmonton, and today I am here to bring you to a live streamed Power Hour class. With me today is Miles working behind the scenes. If you have any questions, concerns, queries about anything going on, or anything that needs clarification, definitely just toss your questions, comments in the comments below, and Miles will help you out with that. I'm pretty jazzed for this one today. It is Friday again, so once more, similar to last Friday, I am in my Friday red t-shirt as well as my Fun Sock Friday socks today. Hopefully this is familiar. I hope this makes you laugh. I don't know. These are my Grumpy Cat socks and probably some of my favorites. Sometimes we get to the end of the week, we're a little bit tired, it's beautiful outside, so we're really excited to get to our weekends. Working out might not always be our go-to, might have some, grumpy cats out there, but that's okay. We're gonna get through this together. It's gonna be a fantastic time, and I don't know if you can quite see him in the screen or not here, but I also have my cat Neville with me. He is fascinated with the shadows that are happening behind me, so don't be shocked if he uses me as a human jungle gym at some point. That would not be surprising. What you need to know for today, a little read through as per usual. In response to COVID-19, PSP is offering virtual fitness classes tailored to Canadian Armed Forces members. By using social media platforms, the virtual fitness classes tailored to Canadian Armed Forces personnel become accessible to all. Participants who are not Canadian Armed Forces members recognize and acknowledge that their age, health status, and physical fitness levels are unknown, and it is entirely up to each individual to assess their ability to participate in this class. Since it is preferable to consult your physician prior to beginning any exercise program, we invite all participants to reference or consult the Get Active questionnaire of the Canadian Society for Exercise Physiology. That'll be posted in the comments below. Thanks for taking care of that, Miles. And then if you experience any pain or difficulty during the exercises presented in this video, it is recommended that you stop and consult a healthcare provider. If a Canadian Armed Forces member sustains an injury during this video, please remember to fill out a CF98 form. Like I said again, my name is Adrienne. I'm one of the fitness instructors here in Edmonton, and Miles is hanging out behind the scenes for any questions or comments you might have. Today's class is a Power Hour class, excellent for finishing off our week strong, moving into an exciting weekend that is supposed to be, again, gorgeous out, so love that. What you need today is some tunes, probably. I'm not going to have any playing here, so get your own, whatever you want to put on, totally up to you. And some water for sure. Just want to make sure you're staying hydrated as we make our way through this class, especially if you're outside today. I know in and around Edmonton is real sunny, so keep that hydration going the whole time. It's important. Aside from that, if you want a mat, you can have a mat. You don't really need one. I like to have one. My floor is really hard down here, so keep that in mind. Hi. I know. We're very excited today. And just up from a nap, so goodness knows what's going to happen with this cat, but it should be entertaining at the very least, right? Because it is a Power Hour class, and I will remind you about this when we get to some of our more main exercises of the workout, we're not going to be going 100% the entire time. You're not going to keep that super high heart rate the entire class. You're going to see it fluctuate a little bit. We're going to aim to have shorter work periods and a little bit longer rest, just to help us recover so that we can keep operating at a really good efficiency level. As per usual, we are going to start with a little bit of a warm-up. So get those tunes going, grab your water, have that handy, and we'll start with just a little bit of a jog on the spot here. Big surprise, right? Always good to just get that blood flowing though, get things moving. Start with a nice gentle warm-up, and then we'll bring a little bit more intensity to the things. All right, let's go ahead and move that into jumping jacks. Jumping jacks don't feel good, feel free to step it. Awesome, into high knees. From here, go ahead and bring that into butt kicks. And back to your jog. Cool, bring those feet about hip distance, maybe a little bit wider. Coming up to the top of the body here, we'll go side to side. Excuse me. Pardon my cameraman, he has horrible manners. Start bringing the head just side to side. Ear down towards the shoulder. Nice and slow. From here, going right and left. And up and down. Cool, moving into some half circles, ear to shoulder, chin to chest, other side, working our way back. Continue on with that, just alternating sides. Excellent, sorry, I had to make sure that my cat didn't change anything on my phone or the video settings as he was licking the screen just a moment ago. Moving into our shoulders here, let's roll them up and back. I did warn you, you never know what's going to happen with that little guy. Move these a little bit bigger, kind of coming from the elbows, drawing nice big circles. Even bigger still, full arm circles coming up and back. Take these nice and slow if that feels better for you. Other direction, just the shoulders to start coming up and forward. Making these a little bit bigger into our elbows, kind of drawing circles with those. Bigger still, full arm circles coming up and forward. Fantastic. Step that a little bit wider here if you aren't already. We're going to work into some wider squats. Just make sure your knees and toes are pointing out at the same direction. Keep that chest up nice and high. We're going to go for about 10. And then bring that up nice and tall. Reach up and over towards the right side. I'll bring it down your right leg. And coming into a side lunge, so we're bending through that opposite knee. Come to bend and straighten. You might feel that a bit more through your adductors on the leg you're stretching. Go ahead and bring that back up over to the other side here. Reaching up and left. Reaching down your left leg this time. And then bend and straighten through the right leg here. All right, you can bring that back up. Next one, we're going to bring an inchworm into a push-up. So starting up nice and tall, we're going to walk our hands out to a high plank. Somewhere else, please, my friend. Walk your hands out to a high plank. Perform a push-up from your toes or from your knees, and walk the hands back in up to stand. Let's go for another 4 of those today. Walk the hands out into a push-up. Back in, and up to stand. 3 more. Just go at your own pace with these. Once you are done with those, if you want to take a moment, warm up anything else, mobilize anything else that you might need for this workout, do what you need to do. Grab a sip of water if you'd like. Next little bit, not quite into our high intensity stuff just yet. We're going to do some really specific exercises to help activate activate certain muscles that we're going to be using more in our higher intensity rounds, as well as waking up kind of some neuromuscular patterns through the body, basically reminding our muscles how to work together efficiently and in certain patterns before we try to go faster or add a little bit of a jump to things and make them more intense. So that's up next. Sip of water if you need it. And as we move through these, I'll kind of talk about a few alignment points to keep in mind as we move through our other rounds later. So just some activation stuff. Bring it hip distance for your feet, a little bit wider if that's comfortable for you. Body weight squats, we're just gonna go for 10. What I want you to think about here is awesome, perfect form. That chest stays up high, keeping our spine neutral the whole time. Come down as low as feels okay for you. Maybe that is almost to a 90-degree bend. Maybe that's coming a little bit lower. But if you find your back starting to round or really extend, stop before that change in the back starts to happen. We're gonna work to keep that neutral spine. And then as we move into our higher intensity rounds, we're gonna keep that in mind when we start to bring these into jump squats. All right, next one. Take it onto one foot. We're gonna go for 10 hops forward and back, or 10 times forward and back. I guess technically that's 20 hops. 10 times forward and back, and then 10 times side to side. Just little hops, nothing crazy. Waking up some of the muscles that help to stabilize us. Once you're done the 10 forward and back, side to side, 10 times. When you're done the one leg, gotta do it on the second side as well, even things out. 10 forward and back, 10 side to side. Excellent. Cool. When you're doing those, we're going to do a bunch of different jumping things today. We're going to come back to the hops in a sec. But what I want you to be thinking about is where your toe is and where your knee is and how they're pointing. You don't want your knee and toe to be misaligned in either direction, just to help protect our limbs and our joints as we move through our workout today. Next up, just lunges. Nothing crazy here. Step it forward, pressing back up together. Let's go for 10 of these as well, 5 per side. Really emphasize that press up through the heel. Emphasize that nice, tall, neutral spine. And find a depth that feels good for you today, that doesn't quite tap your knee to the ground. You can come down to a hover, but if we bring these into something like, oh, I don't know, jumping lunges, because those are fun, and we will be doing some today. You don't want to be hitting your knee on the ground, right? You want to be nice and gentle to it, again, especially if you're working with a harder floor like I am. All right. Next, lateral leaps or lateral bounds, as these are also known. We're going to do a bit of a hop from foot to foot. 10 in total, 5 per side. Take these slow, take them small to start. Maybe we'll start to get a little bit bigger with them. Feel free to pause between sides. In fact, I would encourage it. Little hops. Use the arms to stabilize. And if you find balance is challenging for you, as you're doing these, see if you can find a spot to stare at. Straight in front of you. Hopefully it's not someone making faces at you and making this much harder than it needs to be. That sometimes helps just to orient us and stabilize ourselves a little bit better. We're going to go ahead and do another 10. This time I'd like you to bring them a little bit larger, a little bit farther apart if it's comfortable. If that hop foot to foot is already really challenging today, keep it with that. And remember that as we make our way to the more intensive rounds. All right, a little bit bigger, 10 times, 5 per side, here we go. See if we can make our landings nice and quiet. I like to cross my other leg behind as I'm landing. That's my way of stabilizing here. It's a little bit of figuring out time. See what is best for you. Fantastic. Okay, moving into our next kind of lunges. As an alternative to the lateral leaps, speed skaters are a really good option. So just to wake up some musculature that supports that movement, I'd like to do some curtsy lunges, 10 in total, 5 per side, stepping back and across. Coming into your lunge, knee and toe, still pointing the same direction, back up, other side, stepping back and across. If the across doesn't feel good, reverse lunge. Still good, still like that. Just 10 in total, take your time. Notice where that is all lining up, knee and toe, where they're pointing. If we're able to keep that chest tall, I'm probably doing more than 10. That's okay, it's fine. As long as these aren't totally exhausting us now, we're good. But again, just things to think about with those curtsy lunges, keeping that neutral spine, that sort of deal. Next up, mat, if you want it, we're gonna go for some tap push-ups. We did some last week, I believe. Other classes that I've done for sure. At the top of your push-up, we do 2 taps, emphasizing core stability. Today, we're still emphasizing core stability, but to a lesser extent. I would just like 1 tap to one shoulder or the other. At the top, we'll alternate sides after each push-up. Push up from your toes, push up from your knees, your choice. You do you. But I want you to focus on a nice quick push as we make our way up. Okay, this is just gonna prep us for some more plyometric push-ups as we make our way along, or give us another alternative if the plyos don't feel good. So we're gonna lower with control, press up, tap, shoulders stay facing the mat, and we're gonna go right into that next one. 10 in total, 5 taps per side. Cool. Bonus notes for your push-ups. If you can, if it feels okay for your shoulders, fingers pointing forward, elbows alongside the body, getting into our triceps a little bit more. So I want you to focus on that alignment. And the reason that I'm mentioning this today is if we go a little bit wider, or we start to turn in, it's more likely that our shoulders are gonna sneak up towards our ears. We don't want that. So shoulders back and down, fingers forward, elbows alongside the body. If you want to toss in a couple extra practice reps, make sure your alignment is all there. Make sure your core is nice and strong as you're doing that. Go for it. We've just got 1 more here to kind of warm things up. Get things moving a little bit and activated, and then we get into the fun stuff. Good, good, good. All right, so tucks. We did these last week. They're one of my favorites if you couldn't tell. I keep putting them in for a reason. Hands are gonna stay on the mat or up in the air in line with the shoulders, your choice. You're bringing yourself from that tuck position, knees to chest, out to a hollow body, as low as you can, keeping your core strong, and then driving knees back towards the chest. Go for about 10. See where you land in that hollow body. Notice what's feeling nice and active as you're finding your way back up to the top of your tucks. We're going to keep that in mind as an alternative for another exercise coming up. Once you finish your 10, if there's any of those you want to revisit, take a sec, revisit it. If you have questions, toss them in the comments. Miles will help you out. Grab a sip of water again if you would like. And I'm going to explain how our super fun, a little bit more explosive round is going to go. Today, we have 5 exercises. Each of them we're probably going to do 6 times. We'll see kind of how we're feeling, how it goes. Every 30 seconds, we're going to start the next exercise. You're only going to do about 6 to 8 of everything. The only one that's different is our first one, jump squats. We're going to go for 10. So 10 jump squats, 6 to 8 lateral leaps that we're practicing, 6 to 8 plyo push-ups. We've done these before in a power class. At the top, all we're adding is a little bit of a hop. So you press up, hop, catch it right into your next push-up, okay? No landing on straight arms. That is the rule. That's very important. Helps protect our elbows and our wrists and our shoulders from unnecessary shock. After that, 6 to 8 tucks or V-ups. Only difference with the V-ups, straighten out your legs. It's a little bit harder to come in together. It's like doing a sit-up and a leg raise at the same time. And last but not least, jump lunges. Those should be fairly familiar, 6 to 8 as well. And the reason that I have such a range for your reps today is because I want you to kind of assess where you're at how it feels round to round. We want these to be fairly quick movements. We want them to be powerful. We want them to be explosive. So they might be a little bit faster. That's great. If you finish in less than 10 seconds, then maybe add a couple reps for round 2. If you finish after like more than 15 seconds, more than 20 seconds, take off a rep or so. And we'll kind of adjust so that you have about 15 seconds rest or maybe a little bit more. Reason for that is we want to have more recovery so that we continue to work at the high intensity, that explosiveness, that powerful movement that without enough rest we just wouldn't be able to do. Compared to some other workouts, you might not feel that you are like dying at the end of every round. Totally out of breath, totally sweating. You might be a sweaty person, I don't know. But know that we're doing that rest for an important reason, to help essentially get the body good at, really proficient at those quick, explosive movements. Yep, that's what I want to say about those. So we will get on going here, starting with jump squats. We're going to go for 10. In 3, 2, 1, go for it. 10 jump squats. Landing nice and quiet. Find that neutral spine. This is the 15-second mark. So if you were done super fast, super early, go for 12 next time. If you're still doing them, take off 1 or 2. All right, 5 seconds, then we're on to our lateral bounds. Side to side, about 8. Take a moment to stabilize as you jump over. The movement is fast, the movement is powerful, but take advantage of that moment to stabilize. 15 seconds. Again, adjust reps as you need to. Next one is our push-ups, starting in 10 seconds. With a little hop from the toes or the knees. Here we go. Again, that tap is your alternative. This is the 15-second mark. So again, adjust if you need to. Take a moment, rest between a couple of reps. If you really need, keep them quick, keep them explosive. Next one, tucks or V-ups. Here we go. 6 to 8 of these. There's your 15-second mark. Jump lunges are next. Six to 8 of these as well. Here we go. Go for good height, but focus on that controlled landing. 15 seconds. After this, we're coming right back to jump squats, right into round 2. No extra rest this time. I'll give us more after this round, just not a lot. 10 jump squats. Adjust those reps if you need. Cool. That's 15 seconds. 10. Lateral bounds coming up next. Here we go. 6 to 8, or adjust your reps as you need. That's 15 seconds. So far, so good. Push-ups are next. Hopefully your mat doesn't slide as much as mine does. Here we go. There's your 15 seconds. V-ups coming up next. 6 to 8. Here we go. Here's your 15. Those ones are coming up quick. Lower with control. Jump lunges next. Then a little bit of a break, not much. Here we go. 6 to 8. Probably could have done another rep or so. That's 15. Once you're done with these, take a moment to catch your breath. Grab a sip of water if you need it. We're just going to take an extra about 30 seconds. So far, so good. Should be nice and warm now. Should be getting an idea of what reps feels good for about 15 seconds work, 15 seconds rest. 15 seconds and we're back at it. These are quick, but we'll use that rest up because the exercises are higher intensity, right? Got this. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Jump squats. About 10 of these. Quiet on those landings. There's your 15. Any of these at any point, if you need, modify, adjust your pace, take a bit more rest, up to you. Lateral bounce. As an alternative, forgot to mention this earlier, speed skaters. Step cross behind or jump cross behind. Either one. There's your 15 seconds. 10 seconds till push-ups. Here we go. And then V-ups. Go for it. Exhales are coming up. Inhale on the way back down. There's 15. Jump lunges. Coming up next. Six to 8, or your rep range. Here we go. There's 15. We're gonna go right back to jump squats again. 2 little rounds in a row. And then a little bit more of a rest. Jump squats. Here we go. Nice. 15. Next one, lateral bounce, lateral leaps, or skaters. In 5. 6 to 8. Here we go. Control that as much as you can. It's going to get harder as we get a little bit more fatigued we're also going to get more practiced. So, could start to feel a little bit better too. 10 seconds till our next exercise. Push-ups. In 5. Here we go. There's your 15. The ups are next. 10 seconds. Let's go. 6 to 8 of these bad boys. There's your 15. Jump lunges next, and then an extra 30-second break. A whole 30 seconds. Very nice of me, I know. All right, here we go with those lunges. Reverse lunges are your option here. Seconds, but then bonus break. Nice. Just take a sec, grab water if you need it. 2 more rounds. Catch that breath if it's getting away from you. Adjust your reps. They don't have to be exactly the same the whole time. Biggest thing is, we want to keep that form. 10 seconds, and we're coming back to jump squats. In 5. Jump squats, let's get it. Whew. 15 seconds right there. Next one, lateral leaps. How are we feeling? You've got this. Weekend's coming up. All right, side to side. As big or as small, as suits you today. Listen to what your body's telling you is a good challenge. Go with that. There's 15. Push-ups are next. Get ready for them. Little hop or that tap. Here we go. All the core here. V-ups coming at you next. 10 seconds. Here we go. There's your 15. Jump lunges. And then we're coming into our last round already. How nice is that? Here we go. There's your 15. Last round, we got those jump squats. In 10. Crushing it. Keep pushing through. Let's go. Feel the power. excited that round. There's 15. Lateral leaps or lateral bounds. Let's go. Push-ups in 10. Three. Here we go. 15. 2 more V-ups and jump lunges. 2, 1, let's go. There's 15. Jump lunges is our last one. A little bit of a longer break coming up. Then we're gonna sweat. Here we go. Once you're done these jump lunges, take your rest. Keep your feet moving. Nice big breaths, fill up those lungs. Slow on the way out. Take your time. Sip of water if you need it. Nicely done. So far, so good. Hopefully, those felt like a good amount of challenge and you were able to settle into a nice rep range for the intensity that you're going for today. All right. Next, you've still got a minute. No stress, no worries. We're gonna get some really wonderful full body exercises in. We're gonna do some burpees. Ideally a lot of burpees, but I have a couple options for you if you absolutely hate these. Also, if you've done class with me before, you know I like to be a little bit out there, a little bit strange with my variations. So you can do normal burpees, or you can do what I like to call reverse burpees. Break those down for you quick here. Normal burpee, you can adjust this a few different ways. All right, you can hop the whole way through, you can add a push-up or no push-up, or you can step. So hopping all the way through, it's gonna look something like this, with a push-up or without. If you're stepping, coming up, down, step it back, and in, and up. Again, push up if you want. We've already done some push-ups today, so I'll leave that up to you. For your reverse burpee option, so we're gonna start with a jump, to a nice low squat. Controlled roll onto your back. That's gonna look something like this. Pressing those heels up towards the sky. Roll it forward. Hopefully with enough momentum to come on back to your feet and up, or another option here, coming up, roll it down, cross your legs as you're coming back up so that you can step up to stand, okay? I don't know if I went off screen for the end of that or not, so as I was coming up that time, I sat up like so, crossed one leg over the other so that I can press forward up to stand. We're going to do these for 20 seconds. Either one, or go back and forth as much or as little as you'd like. 20 seconds work, 20 seconds rest, 6 times. If you weren't already sweaty, you will be after these. I want you to keep in mind that jump at the top. Think about it like your jump squat from before. Keep it controlled. Keep your landing soft, spine neutral for as long as you possibly can. Modify it as you need to, And because it's just 20 seconds work this time to 20 seconds rest, pace it as you need to. Doesn't need to be super, super speed. I would like you to keep that neutral spine, again, as long as possible. Quiet, controlled landings. And if you're adding that push-up or even just stepping back into your plank, core is so strong, okay? Back doesn't have any of that dip going on. We're gonna keep it really, really tight, really neutral to help protect everything and encourage that good form. Woohoo, good form. That's the most exciting part, I know, but it's good for you. All right, round one, are you ready for it? I'm gonna assume everyone is like cheering at their phones or their screens or laptops or whatever in their own homes. Yeah, we're ready for it. Let's get these burpees over with. Or maybe you feel a little bit more like my socks. No, too bad. We're doing it anyways. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go for it. 20 seconds of burpees or reverse burpees. "20 seconds isn't very long, so go for it. See what you can do. Rest. Whew. Take a breather. 20 seconds. Enjoy. Soak it in. And then we're into round 2. Same thing, just burpees. 5. Let's go. Rest. 2 done. 4 to go. Woo. 10 seconds. Here we go. Rest. Nice. 20 seconds. Good breaths. Halfway through these as well. 10 seconds. 5. Here we go. Rest. Nice. 2 left. We got it. Whew. Last minute of your workout. Two, 1. Here we go. Whew. Hop it if you can. Step it if you need to. 5 seconds. Rest. Last one. 20 seconds of fun. All right, in 5. Rest. All right, team. Nice job. Whew. Made it through your workout. What I want you to do, keep your feet moving for now. A little bit of a walk around. We're gonna start to bring that heart rate back down. Deep breaths. Water as you need to. Feels good, right? Knowing we're done that. Cool, wherever you're at, just walk it out. Focus on the breath. If it helps, you can bring the arms up a little bit higher. Check in that you're not hunched in the chest at all. Pull those shoulders back. Open up through your chest. Let's take a nice deep breath in here. Fill up all the way. Slow exhale. Okay, again, fill it up. And let it out. Cool. Let's add some arms to that as we're here. Inhale, sweep those arms overhead. Exhale, come on down. One more, inhale up. Exhale, bring it down. Starting to feel a little bit better already. Cool, let's take our time moving into a little bit of mobility. We're gonna start with some standing ones so we can still keep those feet moving as we start to cool things down, bring our heart rate down. As I move into some of the other stretches, if you are not ready for it, and you wanna keep walking, heart's still pounding, keep walking as long as you want. You can always come back to these later, right? All right, bring an arm up behind the head, press down on that elbow. We're gonna stretch out your tricep. Those are working hard in our push-ups today, exercising a lot of control. You also might feel this a bit into your shoulders, depends on where you are tight in and around there. Try and keep that chest up high, don't let your arm push your head forward. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Same thing, other arm, reaching behind the head, gentle press down on the elbow. Keeping that posture up tall. What a way to wrap up a Friday, right? Cool. You can release that on down, arm across the chest, pull it in towards you. Shoulders stay down away from the ears. This is one you want to feel into your upper back, maybe in the back of the shoulder, between your shoulder blades. Again, wherever you're tightest in this one, could adjust where you're feeling it, could change where you're feeling it rather. So find a spot that you feel a bit of something with that nice long neck, tall posture. Whenever you're ready, switch it up. Same thing, other arm, pull it across. Shoulders stay down away from the ears. We're keeping it up nice and tall. Cool, releasing that on down. Move into our neck just a little bit in case we got a bit of extra tension up here. Tends to happen. We'll bring an ear down towards the shoulder if you want a little bit extra. An arm can come up and over as well, but we want to feel that through the side of the neck. That arm doesn't need to be there. Oftentimes, just by extending your opposite arm away, you'll feel a little bit more of a stretch through the side. So adjust it as you need. Same thing, other side, ear comes up and over, left ear towards the left shoulder. Stretch out through the side of the neck, drop the shoulder away from you, and reach that arm down and away. Awesome, awesome. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit cooler now. Ready to bring it on down to the ground or down to your mat. We'll take a seat for now. Toss both legs out in front of us, or sorry, just one leg for the moment. A little bit nicer to our hamstrings this way. We'll just go one leg at a time, bend one in, extend one out. We're just gonna reach down that straight leg till we feel a bit of a hamstring stretch or calf stretch. Everyone's a bit different here. You might feel it one more than the other. Maybe both are really intense, maybe not very much at all. Continuing just to control that breath. Nice knowing that we're done with the intense stuff. I hope that was a good challenge for you today. Found some interesting things, or at least that I pushed you a bit. You can go ahead and switch sides whenever you're ready. And as per usual, I've got a few minutes left here, but if you have other questions that pop up after we're done this live stream, we'll hang out and keep an eye on the comments for the next 15 minutes or so. So if you have questions, you have comments, toss them under and we will get on back to you, or you can always message our page. Easy to do that as well. This class is usually available on our page for the 24 hours after we're done our live stream, and then we toss them up on YouTube afterwards as well. So you can always head to just like our video section if you want to revisit some old classes or find some favorites. Those are always just a really good way to do it, and do it in your own time too if the scheduled live streams don't always exactly fit your schedule. All right, go ahead and bring that onto one side or the other. We'll stretch out our quads a bit here. You're gonna bring a heel up towards the glutes, drop the knee so it's down in line with the hip. You want to feel a bit of a stretch through the front of the quad. And if you're like me and don't love having to hold on to your foot the whole time, I roll back slightly so the ground can catch it for me, and that puts me into a little bit deeper of a quad stretch. You may or may not need that extra little bit, or if you still need a bit more, you can almost think about kicking into your hand or kicking into the floor so that your hip presses forward. That'll bring a bit more sensation as well. You're not looking for max sensation. If you can feel something, you're probably good. But if you couldn't feel it at all before, that should help you out. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and switch sides. Same thing. Other leg. Heel up towards the glutes. Knee drops down in line with the hip. Floor can hold on to it. You can hold on to it, whatever works. If you prefer to do this one standing, you probably know that one. Pretty common, pretty familiar. And if this doesn't feel, this doesn't get you feeling all fired up to get into your weekend, I don't know what will. I am so excited to be out there. Catch a little bit of sunshine, a little bit of fresh air. If I had an excellent outdoor space, we would totally be doing this workout outside, but not the case at the moment, so maybe another time. Awesome, you can relax out of that. Last couple that I really want to get in here is into our hip flexors and our calves with all of the jumping we've been doing today, the quick movements in and around there. You can pop it up into a lunge stance. Drop the tailbone down. Think about pressing your hips forward and down. If you still need more, you can bring the same arm as your back leg, up and over. That'll extend through the hip flexors just a little bit more. You may or may not need that. Sometimes I find just with that dropping of the tailbone and that little bit of a press forward of the hips on its own, mine gets talking pretty quick. So do what you need to do. Just make sure you're breathing really well as we continue to move through these. If we're not breathing when we're stretching or going through our mobility, we're not going to get a lot out of it. A little tougher on our recovery from class. All right, when you are ready, switching sides. Other leg. Go ahead and press those hips forward and down. And same arm as your back leg is reaching if you need that little bit more. Also, I'm kind of curious to know if anyone else joined me with fun socks today. Toss that in the comments. I would love to hear. If you didn't, that's okay. You can always do fun socks other Fridays. I understand. It's all good. Beautiful. You're good to relax out of that one. Last one here. We'll hop it into a downward dog so we can stretch out our calves a little bit. Sending those hips up and back, tucking the toes. You can press down either both heels together, or if you want to focus on one at a time, drive one heel down, other leg can lift. I like to just cross mine gently behind. You can add a little bit of a bend to that knee if you need it. Otherwise, modify however you need. And if you're doing one leg at a time, give it another moment or so, and then we will switch sides here. Making sure we give both calves some really good attention. They do work hard when we're doing so much springing and bounding and all kinds of fun. All right. You're good to relax that on down. As per usual, thank you so much for joining me. Always a pleasure. Happy to get these classes in with you. And I hope, worked hard, did some things, sweat a little bit. And if you have questions, concerns, ask away. Reference back to our videos whenever you'd like. And we'll see you again sometime soon. Enjoy your beautiful weekend.